I drank 2 bangs really fast, and then like when we made it to the finals, I was like, I need to come on with coffee.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bag. You ain't geek. Too bad. My bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello. That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma press.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. This one taken from the 7. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it looked like he was able to get it back. So a big sigh of relief there, as that would have been a disastrous way to start this ball game. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. This beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Newman. That's complete to Slayton. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 1st and 10, Newman. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
56 to Mike, boy, 56.
shotgun. They run with Barkley. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Switch it. Come on.
Operating from the gun, Newman. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
No. You draw Porter.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up second and 12 at the 37-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Check.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. One interception. It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. 84 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. That means your defense. They've got to go out.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
There we go, Pac-Man. Waiting! Hey, empty! Empty! I'm letting you know right now, you better break! 36! 36! Check 26, check 26! 81, 81! Hey, Alpha! Here we go, here's split that!
From the gun, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch twins! Watch twins!
From the gun, Newman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen!
To throw again, Newman. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing on 1st down. Newman, catch made by Slayton. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Looking to throw on second down. Newman to the end zone, but it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Newman. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. Fourth down. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with a 1st and 10.
Motion. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
50. Watch the pass. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Go. Coming. Check.
Wentz going to throw. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Lorenzo Carter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Saquon Barkley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 35-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
I don't even know why this team showed up. Check 50, check 50.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking to throw. Newman. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure this guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 20 on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
We own it. We own it. Right there. 54. Right there. Right. 54, Mike. Y'all know, ready? Tight dog. Tight dog.
2nd and 6. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
That's the way.
On 3rd down, Newman. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It got his man complete. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Newman. He will find his man on the end route, complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Newman. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Second and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again, Newman. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On the draw, this is Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 33. Rosas' kick is good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Slam, slam, slam. Kill.
Wentz. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
All day, every day, any day.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
50's a Mike. 50's a Mike. Let him know.
On second down, it's Sanders. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
50. Mike 50. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Down, man, 5-4. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Check the outs. Check the outs.
Now wins. And that is incomplete. So coming up empty here to start the 3rd quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 99 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Go. Protein spell. Here we go.
From the 44, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Mike 54. Mike 6'6". Pull it high. Make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Check 4. Check 4. Check.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
Here we go. Back. Lombardi!
Tighten up. Pull together.
On first down, Sanders. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Who that? Mike 50.
Kill. Hey, Haywood.
50.
From the 38, Wentz. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
5-9.
50, Mike.
Hey, Echo.
I hope you brought your lunch, because I'm about to take you to school. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50.
Throwing his Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's got Smith here. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And this one complete to Smith. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 17 yards out. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
56, Mike, 56, right there, right there.
Operating from the gun, Newman. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, Newman. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the games.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Sunday.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
180. 2 jack.
Tight left. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Wentz now on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Eagles on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Go, Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go.
Now Wentz. The open man is Smith. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's just me and you.
Hey, Wahoo!
It's just me and you.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
On second and 2, Wentz. He's going to let it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles get a score closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve. And
you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Here we go. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the Giants, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my hands to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve. Right before I leave, that's that like I'm Eno. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by themselves.
That's why you treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't leave me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell.